Ladakh. The very name makes my heart skip a beat. When I start actually thinking about the whole experience, first there were the rains, the never-ending, soul-soaking rains. Then there were the roads, which were pretty much non-existent for the most part. And then there were the landslides, ranging from rocks falling off all the way to whole mountains falling off. And finally, the icing on the cake, the extreme ghastly weather, which varies not by the day but by the kilometer. But after all that, is Ladakh really worth it? Well, here's your answer.
Well, we're finally on our way. I think it's about 70 kilometers since we crossed Chandigarh on the Kalka-Shimla highway, which is pretty much a lifeline for these parts of the country, as you can see by the amount of traffic here today. The roads are getting really windy. We just got our first glimpse of the Himalayas, and boy, are we excited. You know, it actually makes me wonder how we got here today. The years of planning and constant disappointment, the months of preparation, physically, mentally and financially, all that is a story in itself. That being said, let's go back a few years. Once upon a time, not too long ago, when petrol was just 58 rupees and people actually thought Rahul Gandhi was the future of Indian politics, the five of us graduated college. And then one fine day, I said, let's go to Ladakh, for which the guy said. But then reality hit us, and we did something far more dangerous and life-threatening. We got married. That's right, I married her, they married them, and we all got into getting our shit together. 4 years later, there I was with the same sentence again. Let's go to Ladakh. And this time, we were doing it for sure. Only two things were different. First, Vivek went completely bald. And second, we had one more person joining us. That's this guy. And the rest is history. We just crossed Mandi town, about 120 kilometers from Manali, one of the most iconic places Himachal Pradesh has to offer. And this road right here is a gateway to what lies beyond. This is one of the most important parts of the journey. A popular choice here is to hire a bike from Manali, but I'd rather advise you take a bike all the way from Guney, especially if you're hiring one like what we did. Not just for the thrill of it, but this is where you first get to experience your machine, and this is where you bond with it. What you learn in this part of the journey will actually decide how your entire trip goes. Next, Manali. Good morning, guys. It's about 10 a.m. in Manali. Last night we got in pretty late thanks to a huge traffic jam near Kullu. And we actually had passes for Rohthang today, but unfortunately we couldn't make it as we didn't have fuel cans, which are much needed for the route. So we got passes for tomorrow. We got most of the day off. So we might as well explore Manali. We're on our way to Solong Valley, which is about 20 kilometers from Manali. I was told it is raining there, but hopefully the clouds will clear up by the time we get there. And yes, we do have to pick up fuel cans and a couple of more things on our way back to the hotel. Manali is a cultural crossroad of a sort, with both Hindu and Buddhist culture thriving. And this influence can be strongly seen in its people, their lifestyle, traditions, architecture, food, everything. And this is also what makes Manali what it is. A cultural crossroads. Best of both worlds and both traditions. Morning, and we are finally on our way. It's about 8:30. We did get off to a late start, and it does look a bit cloudy, but we are on our way to Rohthang. We do have passes to cross Rohthang. Both two-wheelers and four-wheelers need them. Next stop, Rohthang Pass. What followed next was our worst nightmare. An 8-hour traffic jam, accompanied by constant rain. It was freezing outside, and it was so cold that our hands inside our gloves were beginning to turn blue. We were dripping wet. People returning from Rohthang warned us of a snowstorm brewing at the top. And finally, we met an army convoy that warned us not to go ahead as there was a massive storm and a lot of landslides happening all the way to Jispa. It was Mother Nature warning us this was no vacation. We finally realized what the pass was named after: Rohthang, a pile of corpses. Well, giving up was never an option. Here we are on the same road that had brought us to our knees, and it's nothing alike. It's about 4:30 AM on the clock, and we're almost halfway to Rohthang Pass. was like the Himalayas had finally let us through. The skies were clear, the weather was so pleasant. We actually began to wonder if this was the same road we were on the last time we tried this. I know getting to Rohthang is not much of an achievement, but after what we had been through, it felt like one. Onwards to Jispa. Of dirt that leads out of Rohthang is both unforgiving and nourishing at the same time. Despite being grueling on the shocks, we never felt so energetic. This is where we had to hold ourselves back. Every meter we moved on was quite a struggle for the machine. We were forced to push our shocks to their extreme limits, and our brakes kept heating up every 10 minutes. So we took breaks every 10 minutes. We inched forward as we finally reached Tandi. This place right here had the only filling station for the next 365 kilometers. Despite being quite modest, this is actually one of the most expensive petrol bunks maintained in the country. This filling station right here is what makes a trip to Leh even possible through Manali. A light breakfast and a landslide later, we were finally back on track to Jispa.